Well, hello, friends. I'm here again with DenaliGuide, and I believe we have 5 different parts to this video that we're going to go through. So if you've been investing for more than 5 minutes, you already know these things. Buying is easy, selling is hard. Everyone wants to know what to buy, but very few people really learn when to sell. So today, that's what we're going to talk about, because selling is where profit actually happens. So let's dive into part 1, the uncomfortable truth. All investing is what's called an aleatory contract. Tell me what that means.
It means that you make a deal with somebody that you could get more out of than you put into it.
Really?
Yeah, so if I tell you I want to buy some sugar from you, I intend to sell the sugar later at a higher price than I bought it from you.
Okay, that's true. So you're taking a bit of a risk, hoping to recover.
All risk looks at the reward, and if they're inappropriate or disproportionate, you don't do it.
So Gerald Loeb once answered the question, when should you invest, with a very simple reply. He said, when you have the funds. Okay, that's fair enough, but when should you sell? That's the harder question.
Well, there's a number of measures. You can decide if it goes down 5%, I'm selling it. If it goes down more than 1% of my portfolio value, I'm selling it. If it goes down more than 5 days in a row, I'm selling it. There's any number of rules that you can invoke. But what it is you have a plan, and usually your plan has rules.
Okay, so part 2 dives us into let the numbers talk. The market whispers long before it shouts. What does that mean?
Well, sometimes the stock will be going up and it'll stop going up. And it's just sitting there marking time, marching in place. All the other stocks are going up around it. And you're asking yourself, does somebody hate this stock? I hope so, because that means I can get rid of it.
Okay, so it's things the stock already knows. And you talk about the 3 S's: sector, selection, and sentiment. So do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, let's go back to the several administrations ago when coal was bad. Coal was a bad fuel, okay? It decimated the coal stocks. They just went down and down and down and down. And then all of a sudden, Mr. Trump comes along and said, coal is good, we need it. And it went up and up and up and up. Okay, so what are we going to talk about? Are we talking about sentiment? That's sentiment. Okay, selection. Let's see. This stock has been able to raise money. This stock has returned a profit. This stock has a stable dividend. All right. That's a good reason to select it. Now, go back to sector, right, which is what I was talking about with coal. 80% of what your stock does is about sector. Oil stocks are jumping now because people are talking bad about Iran.
Yeah.
And that's going to make oil prices go up despite Venezuela.
Okay. So now you're getting into kind of specifics, but those 3 things, sector, selection, sentiment, will tell you whether your stock is still being invited to the party or whether the music is starting to fade.
Well, let's look at that. There's a lot of hullabaloo about this stock or about this sector. And when the music dies, if the stock keeps advancing, that's fine. But maybe without the bandwagon effect, it'll just languish. Or worse than that, it'll nosedive.
Right. Okay, so let's move on to part 3. We talk about the trend, the market's honest voice. Trend is one of the oldest and most reliable guides that we have. The moving averages, so to speak.
Yeah, people really get on this and they're like, well, you have to be above the 200-day moving average. No, if you're really doing good, you have to be above the 50-day moving average. No, you should wait to buy until the 20-day moving average jumps above the 50-day moving average.
Yeah.
Again, do your own due diligence, have a plan, have your own rules.
Right. And I know that you use them. There's some free charting sites, and basically watch the price versus moving averages, moving average crossovers, and crossing above or below the zero lines. So these are trends. So when these begin to roll over, the market is telling you something, right? Quietly, politely,
well, maybe
but
not
clearly.
Not so politely if you use the moving average convergence divergence, MACD for short.
Oh, that's what that means. Say that again. What does MACD mean?
Moving average convergence divergence. It's the stress point between two moving averages. And as the sum changes, positive to negative, it reflects how the stock's been running over the last, depending on how big you make it. I use an 8-day moving average.
Okay.
All right, with a 20-day and 20-day stressor. So here we go.
Yeah.
So, but when that moves over a zero line, plus, that means it's good, or it moves below a zero line, that's not good. And they may give you some advance warning of what's happening in that stock, right, because it's a momentum measure.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to part 4, the emotional danger signal. Now, here's the funny part. One of the most dangerous moments is not fear, it's comfort.
Oh, yeah, you're sitting there. Remember back when you were a teenager and you were partying hard because parents weren't home? And it can't get any better than this. Yeah, you're right, because about that time an adult's about to knock your party down. So if you're feeling all warm and fuzzy, like you had one drink too many perhaps, it might be a good time to unload the stock, because everybody else is feeling the same way too. And when you run out of buyers, you hit the top in the stock.
Yeah, the best buys usually felt uncomfortable. And you said my worst holds usually felt cozy. The market rewards discipline, not comfort.
Absolutely. Some of the trades that I liked the best, I was so shaky and nervous when I made them, but I had done the due diligence and it flew in the face of the conventional wisdom. I thought to myself, I'm taking a risk here. Yeah. But I know what the risk is.
So there's part 5. Let's close this off. Closing wisdom. There's no perfect signal, no magic formula, but trend, momentum, and discipline.
Oh, yeah. And if you can keep those 3 together, you could be a maestro. You really have to keep your eye on all 3 of them simultaneously, not in isolation, right, because they work together. There's a measure known as relative strength indicator, and that's the stock divided by its own price, say 5 days past, 10 days past, whatever. As long as it's going up, that's good. Yeah. Now, as long as the moving average convergence divergence is staying above zero, that's good too. And when you hear the sentiment get too saccharine sweet, you know, you look at the other 2 and they're just flat. Time to get out.
Time to get out. So, friends, if this helped you think differently about risk and profit, give it a like. It helps the channel to grow, of course. You know the YouTube stuff. And if you want more honest market thinking about hype, subscribe and stay with us here at DenaliGuide.
Well, so it's always fun talking about trying to take a profit.
Yeah. Until next time, trade carefully and the numbers do the talking.
Remember, the stars may be very attractive, but the numbers never lie.
The numbers never lie. Thank you so much for watching. This is DenaliGuide's producer, Doll. Yeah. And DenaliGuide signing off.
Nick's signing off.
Nick's signing off. Have a great day, everybody.